Abusua 2024 4 years bi Ghana ekwa abato nti edu sa time ya system ni mu yehye Ghana yehye pa ne ye Canada Ghana yehye papa ebesa na electoral commission ana ne ho aba asem enti na no NDC 4 ehya say create issues create allegations except inipa bebre wa ya transfer wondin amerikwa na wan ya aware ebinum so wo anwewu ewo voter register ni ma voter register na ebehia forensic audit ewo say yisi etam voter register na ebeto fem na nipa nyina ya mfimfi mu na ya hwese na ma nyina ya clear ansa na abato no kra no wode won wa den ahyem demonstration kra dem ebemu 16 regions ewo Ghana ha NDC ye demonstration ewo regional capitals ni nyina na no ana isi every IPAC meeting parties no ekwa elections no ana say Ghana ha onipa bia oye stakeholder ewo Ghana elections mu no edumire ebeto aba isi ni free meeting friend IPAC meeting na mu ana parties ahoro ni nyina ekohia wa na wodwen woya adwen twaatwa se ne be ya Ghana yenjina election no betuma ai den afa ne ntamapa e de fra ewo ende mpenfu bebre kokue mu o CPP4 NDC PPP PNC MPP mpenfu bebre kokue mu o ana Akua Donkor Ghana Freedom Party founder Akua Donkor so kokue mu ho na ne wokasa pa ye be sheda gbowura nsem nu man kasa but yenkotie na ma me Akua Donkor enye no oka kire NDC 4 na fe osan praise yisi chair person ma me je mensa
Easy mame any papa no mpanifo amwahia me danya me ase se me be ye nyina ye mame me ba no so me mame no so ye nyina he na se me danya me ase se obetna konwa so esu fidi amanfo asum no NDC fo ade papa na so o ba de court bra no obetwere edini ne court na so o mani mu guase ka o mo ni nyina akiro yasa abetwere edini me ameti we ameka sei isi ka se obi afa nipa emetna table no ho ba bia ye twere edini obi afa nipa bra na ye hunu se ye betwere no obi antimi aka ho asem me dimi nipa koi ba bia me dimi nipa kobi ni nyina akiro ya twere edini kama wade book ya de challenge nyina ka ho de fan ka ho so obi a wonya afie du nwatwe ya ntwere obi a wonya Ghana ni ntwere adda na mo hani pesa woni mo senya me na de bae onyankofo ya de bae o mo ye dai moboa me bompa ya senya nkofo santa na chi kwam bia so wonyi na finti wo ye oba sonko wo ye nipa sonko me bo abaso pro ha yi ni penifo no penifo bo mo abaso ada na mo tete sa me ya men kan tinti be fe mo se nipa duonu mo asai ya wuwe wo ade ni mo yi sa be fe e mo boa ada na mo twa ntro sa mo se wo kira ba bia ya ade no ada na mo tisa ada mo kwa ya twere diri asai kukuom na ma kontwituo eno na nchen yes amla kekos rasa kwa tweda de akọbọ MPP4 MPP4 be bo baba so ate someone kasa na mo asa kwa twitwi aba dade mpo bo da akọbọ dachi wo se afiri ho ba ka so a wo ma kotokuro so se kai twitwa nipa e de da mo ye o ma wi ase bo de kwai o ma na mo dia mo me nya so ni ya papa ni fa twia aba ya betui e ye fa ye fi so ba ye bibia kama woni bia ba mu ala ti na wo yasa mo kura mo ani mo be nyina echi no mo ani mu bia sia ka enye no
eti uti se na Akua Donkor sika ne 70 pa na otum se maame no ebinum se enyi ebinum se but ono de amra ya fra asema e serious ye ka asem no ogbo oprezi de mensa yes obi a won opinion enti e wono ntumi enya sa but utia yisifo na nkasa sameka say ne some of ne wise bi wo ana ano hyedodo Akua Donkor ne kasa echi no ana NDC Director of Elections de Emma won Dr. Omane Boamah ono Ogina PCA so na ono so eche na adwene na okakire yisi plain se ehia se woye forensic audit no bi se enye NDC a anka ene meeting na wote so no kra anka wonye sanka enye NDC adaroma ana ekofa se ekohu se pusiga ya transfer nkrofudin over 38 e dey fi polling station esa woto aba akọ different polling station nanka yisi yen na adwene se meeting kro be frey nti ehun be hia se why forensic audit o chire mu se even 2020 election kra no yisi mu declare no be 5 times mo ba na makọ na maba na makọ na maba na makọ nti won this funa nkasa de wonyi mu ni
Director for Elections and IT NDC. I think that the ground rule must be modified. Obviously, no other political party was seen during the PowerPoint presentation being responded to. So it is obvious we have done a good job, and that is why today you are all here to help deepen our democracy. This said, very obviously, 1 to 4 minutes for all other political parties will certainly not be enough for the NDC. Thank you. When your roof is leaking, you can decide to mop, keep mopping, and keep mopping. Or you can decide to fix the leakage and mop. What we see here is mopping and mopping and mopping. Fixing the leakage is missing. And this is at the heart of our altruistic demand for a forensic audit. This forensic audit is not just about the register. When you have fixed the register, and I will demonstrate to you how, as a result of our revelations, some aftermath fixing is providing a semblance of we are fixing it. When you fix it, and we all look at the hard copies, and we are all giving the PVR, the soft copies. In November, if the very criminals that got us here are still there, engaged in illegal transfers, we will come back to square one. And that time, it will be too close to the December 7 elections. This is why we are saying we need to adopt a dichotomous approach. Look at the register, fix the issues in there, and also audit the very IT systems that allowed these anomalies to occur. We have heard, and Madam Chair spoke about the fact that we certainly do not require external assistance. I've also heard some EC officials question the legality. We have CI 91 as amended by CI 126. We also have CI 127. Okay? A suggestion is being made that on December 7, we are likely to see missing voters list at the polling stations. Is that not the case? Is that not what we've been told here? About 1,551 voters are likely to be captured on a list that will be called missing voters list. Is that not it? I'm here to identify which of these laws has missing voters list. But you see, it's a reasonable remedy for the problem that we are dealing with. And so when you have to go beyond these in a way that it will not hurt but help our democratic process, you need to give it greater consideration. I come also to the point of adjudication, and we saw some very huge figures in the presentation. Are these figures emanating from the very adjudication meetings that NDC participated in? Because to the best of our knowledge, the meetings that we participated in, we did not treat these figures in tens of thousands, about 20-something thousand. So once again, it will be important for a forensic audit to identify where these over 20,000 figures are coming from. Because the report that we have does not support that. We come to the issue of proxy. We are being told proxy, 2,167. Great. But we also know people successfully filed for proxy without going through biometrics. As we speak, which of these 2,167 people went through biometrics and which of them did not go through biometrics? It is going to take maybe a follow-up question. EC may tell us maybe 1,000, maybe 900. How do we verify that? This is a matter that we have raised at IPAC before. For those of you who were at IPAC, this proxy and some people not going through biometrics, we've raised it at IPAC before. Again, we come to the issue of Pusiga. Just like COVID-19, when some people were trying to call it a certain country's disease. Perhaps we should not be calling those criminal transfers Pusiga transfers. And it would take a forensic audit of the EC's IT system to know where those transfers took place. And because I do not have the answers on this Pusiga matter, I want to ask some few questions. One, the login credentials given to your district directors, the passwords, can they modify it so that it will become unique to them? Example, if you are given a bank card, your bank will give you an initial password, and because they don't want anybody to have access to your password, will give you the opportunity for you to change that password of your bank card. In the case that we are dealing with, the district officers, the passwords that they are given or the login credentials that they are given, are they said that other people can have access to them? And so when you have said criminal transfers taking place, the only way out is to check the digital footprints of such transfers instead of just looking at the geographic location where the transfers ended and say that that is where it took place, so that officer or officers are the people who are culpable. If others can have access to those login credentials, then it is important that a forensic audit establishes exactly the footprints of where these transfers took place. Still on Pusiga, are we being told here that 4 years ago, 2020, there wasn't technology across the globe to be checking biometrics with the face? Is that what we are being told by the Electoral Commission? Is that what we spend the taxpayers' money on in the year 2020? Contrary to all the advocacy by Imani, Ghana, and the rest. Is that what we are being told? That this liveliness test could only be activated after the revelation of Pusiga, and there is evidence that it was only activated during the exhibition process. The Director for Electoral Services eloquently captured this on the TV3 program one Saturday morning. I have the
Doc, please, right, can you round up? Because you've gone beyond the 4 minutes that we gave you.
Can you pause so that maybe we go to another set of questions, rounds? Again, I've heard the word assurance, reassure many times. When assurance is given, the assurance is treated with value judgment, and that value judgment is hinged on reliability and credibility. We have had palpable experience on different occasions with the Electoral Commission that obviously demonstrate that we must rebuild that trust in order for us to accept assurances. And the evidence is obvious. Basic arithmetic errors during limited voter registration exercise. Basic. And here we are talking about auditing IT system. These same IT people were those who were using Corel Draw to be working arithmetic. We also experienced 2020 declaration of the presidential results. Declared, corrected again. Assurance is built on trust. That trust is broken. Again, we've all been to the corporate office and the headquarters of the Electoral Commission before. We see the police and the military protection, even for officers. How BVR laptops could be stolen under CCTV surveillance, military and police protection damages our trust. We are also dealing with the number of times that we were expecting the PVR to be released to us. A letter written, and we were glad to have received it from the Electoral Commission in July, all the way through July, up to August. Zilch. August 14, nothing happens. August 16, nada. Until 19th of August. Those series of assurances, expectations that were broken, hurt and damage our trust. So when the assurances are given, we treat the assurances with value judgment that is emanating from these trust issues that have been broken. We are here looking at the evidence that we presented, and we are glad that the EC has accepted 3 out of 5. And where they don't even accept, they try to explain. And that is one of the reasons it is not strategic to provide the Electoral Commission with a full gamut of what we have. And I will explain. And Esofori, the day at the EC corporate office, why were we not told that Esofori had effected a transfer and all the details that we are being given? It is possible all these are true. I do not doubt them. Hear me clearly. It is possible. But you see, when you provide political parties with the provisional voters register, you expect our analysis to be based on the data that we have been given. You do not expect our analysis to be based on any extraneous material. If there are researchers here, they must understand exactly what I'm saying. So, the PVR that we were provided with, if if you analyze them, would you have arrived at the same conclusion? The answer is yes. So even there, as you try to rationalize after having the information, what you forget is that you are assembling what you did not provide political parties with to rationalize. This is why, because of the coefficient of bias, which is very, very high in this case, there is the need for a forensic audit of not just the register, which is being fixed. Why not? And I commend the EC. The EC says that after they have fixed all, and I thought per the submissions of the EC on air, we have heard several times, they had already corrected all the things. Go online, you find that the NDC issues have been fixed. But we do admit, we don't want to be linguistic purists. We do admit that maybe it was an exaggeration. As they fix them, they have promised to provide the updated version. We came here with a hard drive. If the hard drive, if the updated version is already, why not? We will pick it and still analyze, take it through the very analysis that we did. But that is only about the register. That is only about mopping the floor. It doesn't fix the leakage. That is why our demand is in two folds. Forensic audit of the register and forensic audit of the IT system of the Electoral Commission. Yaira has a very simple question for Dr. Yawufuri.
So the NDC akasa de MPP for to be there wabekasa. Election year there, wa ma weni anawo na wan ye woni amayi a ne betuma fo ase. Iti NDC fo ni abresa no, eno ana MPP won a ekogire mu edema MPP party no. Papa we wache e politics papa na IPAC meeting wa kwa Peter Mark Menu.
And barely 9 years ago, 2015, we were assembled here for the same purpose of getting a credible register for the 2016 elections. This same Alisa Hotel 9 years ago. And I recall vividly, as a member of the NPP team, that when we had made our presentations about the state of the register, that it was bloated, that it was not fit for purpose, and we were calling for a new register, our colleagues on the other side said, no, the register is fit for purpose. Allow the Electoral Commission to do its work. Why are you interfering in the affairs of the Electoral Commission? Today, they are playing the catch-up. They are playing the catch-up with the MPP. But I'll go back even before 2016. In 2008, just before the 2008 elections, NDC made allegations that there were some 13 constituencies in Ashanti region whose register have been bloated. The then commission, headed by Dr. Afarijan, also met IPAC in this same fashion and constituted a committee, one from MPP, one from NDC, and two from the other political parties. MPP nominated Kwabena Ejapon, I remember very well, and NDC nominated Dr. Percy. They went into the matter and they came back to report that it was an error from a computer input. So the allegations were dismissed. I think that we are repeating ourselves the same way. So I am very happy and I commend the Electoral Commission for instituting today's meeting to the full glare of the entire Ghanaian public and our friends from other countries. The call for audit, be it audit or forensic audit, is, and I'm repeating what the NDC said in 2015, in this same venue. Now it is embedded in the CI 91, a copy which is here, as amended by 126. That was what the presentation NDC made 9 years ago. So what has changed? What really has changed with the exhibition and various corrections that can be made on the exhibition, be it omission of names, it can be included, be it wrong spelling. What really is important is what the CI says. For example, the CI says you must be resident in the area for a minimum of 12 months before you can do a transfer. You must be resident in the area or the community or the electoral area for a minimum of 12 months before you can effect a transfer. Only last week in the Kumasi High Court, Magistrate Court, an NDC-sponsored transfers were sent packing to go to where they came from. In the Kumasi metropolis, a judge ruled that they were not resident in that area. So they are surreptitiously saying things, one thing, and doing the other, just to court the public support for an election they are going to lose. Don't be emotional. Don't be emotional. You must put your mind back to 2015 in this same area, how you treated the entire presentation we made. What did IEA say? IEA was made up of political parties with representatives in parliament. So it was the views of the political parties that were espoused by the IEA. So here we are, 2008, 13 constituencies in Ashanti region have their votes bloated because Ashanti is the heartbeat of MPP. These were challenged, they went through, and nothing untoward was discovered. In 2015, we made serious effort to get a new register or a cleanup, or what they now call a forensic audit. We went through the motions, all right, but we were denied because the panel, and for that matter, the commission at that time, entreated us to use the mechanism of the exhibition to do any corrections we want to make. What has changed? I want to ask my brothers in the NDC. And today, the NDC is saying 50,000 people are dead on the register. In 2015, and I like to quote from the report of the committee chaired by the late GCRAC Crab, on page 14 of the report, stated that by 2016 elections, based on the reported number of registrants in 2012 and 2014, there were as many as 580,000 estimated number of voter deaths. I repeat, by 2016 elections, based on the reported number of registrants in the 2012 and 2014 registrations, there were as many as 580,000 estimated number of voter deaths that would have occurred cumulatively. What happened? They told us to go and bring the death certificate. Where was I going to get the death certificate from? So if you have 50,000 today, it's less than what we had in 2016. But we went to the elections and we beat you with over 1 million votes. We beat you with over 1 million votes. Unprecedented in the history of elections in this country. But Madam Chairperson, the committee at that time commended the New Patriotic Party must be commended for raising on the public platform the need for a credible voters register. This was in 2015, 9 years ago here. So you may be commended as well. You may be commended. We were commended at that time. So we commend you. But that's how far you can go, my friend. That is what you told me. That is what you told me. So the issues have been fixed. The IT director has said and we followed it. And I'm telling you that we commend you the same way the committee then commended us. But you are trying to play the catch up. So we will leave you to your fate. But you have 1,000 fraudulent votes that you try to transfer to Meisha South, which you will have to go back and answer. So for us, we strongly believe that what the IT director and Madam Chairperson spoke about, the presentation, is very fair and is the best method prescribed by the law on how to deal with any exigencies in the voters register. I will leave it to my General Secretary to put a finishing touch to it. Thank you.
Please, we'll give you 2 minutes.
Sisi ano se Ghana yebeka no kwara. Election na ye kono. It is between NDC and MPP. Enti utie na NDC aka, na utie na MPP fo nso aden aka. Utum se Ghana no, I will say yehwe na etutu ye na manyina ye pepepe. But akama akoye say politicians no wo opposition a wo nsunko ana wo power nso a wo nsunko because 2015 the same NDC na o support yi say no forensic audit. MPP for calling for forensic audit no. NDC for say there be. Now NDC calling for forensic audit. Emra MPP wa power. MPP for to say there be. Tutu say uye yisi. Ubeje akunya tena say yisi chairman na chairperson. I was say odi say utimi say party wo opposition ona wonka da woni wi aso bai. Na party in government no so there. Ono so uye bibia be ne fe. Ghana ebinom so ka say tension amanfo pe. Ebinom so ka say debi ade no won trans na won hwe niye. Ba se na ebe ya asumdwe beba na asumdwe a ye koso enjoy wo ye mangana na ye be koso enjoy no ne what say yisi eye na eboa ema abato no eye free and fair transparency ebemu no won ye na emwa eno na be ma Ghana den etumpon. But wo hwe me no so don't forget say yisi no oye independent body jono obi nkire no ye na nkasa utunufu ano opa na ofa opa onfa za na mra no ema no kwan ni we ni nsem afoforo a enche bia no ye de bebrel update ewo general election eba so 7 December 2024 no se MPP ni NDC mpemfo nsem obeka nyina no enuanom aka de bebrel titiri pa ne na apia ode mu nsem pa emu do ebebrel ewo ye ncha ni so. Can I channel to server subscribe and I will leave a comment at the abwa na ma jumedian so I kama na mum Akua Donkor asem no kan ye no utia na de akwa adwundwurum na aboa mini ni waso tia me